everybody. Welcome back. We're so excited. This is one of my favorite topics. I should say I'm excited. Sorry, Gary. I'm
I
excited.
do.
This is one of my favorite topics, probably because I needed it. Um, we are going to talk about one of our lifestyle hacks that we really encourage our clients to do, and that is follow the light, get sunlight. And if you've heard our podcast before, on light, don't tune out because I feel like we're going to present it a different way. Hopefully the Lord will work and do, what I think this podcast, what we really want to come across in this podcast. And that is, I was pondering like the importance of sunlight and, how I had really made it a habit. And I was thinking it wasn't a coincidence that we really need to be signaled by the sun, right, Carrie? Like we
Yeah.
need to be signaled in the morning by the sun, in the afternoon by the sun, as the sun is going down at sunset, we really just need to follow the sun, which is light.
hmm
And it just hit me like, of course, he is the light and we have to follow the light. And, it just, it was so important for me because it not only was it a physical thing, but it was a spiritual thing. Like, okay, just let go, right? Just follow the light, like just keep letting go.
Mm.
And it just made me, lock into the sun even more, obviously, for spiritual reasons, but the physical, because God gave us every good gift. We just have to use them and realize them, right? Realize them, then use them, maybe.
Yeah.
Um, and, there is so much in getting light daily and blocking blue light at night that is so important for our physical health. Um, and it starts in the morning, right? At sunrise, getting up and getting that red infrared, dominated light. And then that first hour within sunrise, because that's really activating for not only neurotransmitters, but pregnenolone. So pregnenolone is the master hormone. It will either make sex hormones or it'll make stress hormones. And it is activated by that light first thing in the morning. So God's like, yes, of course, get up. I'm going to give you all the energy you need. Just come and turn your face to me,
Yeah.
right? And
Yeah.
I'll give you all the energy that you need for the day. Um, so, and then the neurotransmitter, so I know we've talked about this before, but that hour within sunrise, you're getting a lot of the light that helps to create a lot of the neurotransmitters that you'll need all day and for sleep at night. So it
Yeah.
helps with serotonin to help with your mood. It helps with, epinephrine to keep you focused and energy and all the other neurotransmitters that you'll make for the day that you need to keep you healthy and active and doing God's work. And then at night, right? He didn't intend us, right, to be up in front of a screen or maybe, we should have been resting. And so I just think, not that we, of course, I know times have changed and, we need to be up later after sunrise, especially in the winter, because the sun sets at 5:30 or whenever it
Yeah.
sets for you.
True.
But I really think that using the blue light blockers at night has really improved my sleep and my mood significantly. And Carrie, why and I know you mentioned it in the last one, but you want to talk about your experience with light?
Yeah. Well, we have talked about light, on different podcasts, and I wanted to reference back to those because there's so much good information in there.
Mm,
It's in this same season. It is episodes 25 and 29, and they are both packed full of just, I mean, science, but also just what can come from making this a habit. And as we're kind of doing this new series about how we work with clients and kind of what modalities we use, we couldn't leave this one out because
mhm,
when
mm-mm.
we get a new client, like we literally are, especially at first, we're looking at, okay, what is their past? What are they currently doing to, as far as lifestyle wise? And we're looking to make quick edits that are going to make a big difference. And this is always one that we recommend because we know the power, right? If you start going outside in the morning, you're, you know, it might not be super, super quick, but probably in the first month, your sleep is going to improve and your mood is going to improve. And then after a few months, your digestion is going to improve and your detox are going to improve. And that's really what I saw. And it clicked with me in episode 29 when Carrie, who's definitely an expert in this, which
Yeah,
we
if
are
you
not.
don't
So,
follow, but yeah, if you don't follow her on Instagram, go
yeah.
follow her. Carrie B Wellness. She's amazing.
Yeah, she is. She has lots of great information on the benefits of sunlight and just far, far more than
Right.
than we do. But it clicked with me that I had been making this a habit for about 8 months, and my gut was significantly better. And I saw the correlation there, and I know that so many other things probably went into that, but this definitely was a big piece for me. And I do share my story. Oh gosh, I can't remember what podcast episode it was, but it was a recent one that I share about how letting go really helped my gut. And this was a big part of that because, you think about letting go, sometimes you don't want to let go and just go outside. It sounds
Amen.
so dumb, but like we're not talking about living outside. We're just literally talking about going outside for like 5 minutes in the morning and then maybe midday and then trying to do that at night. Like it's so small, but yet it does take us letting go of maybe what we want to do in our agenda and then going outside and just literally like being with the Lord for 5 or 10 minutes. And like Jen said, that can do so much for you physically, but it's really more about the spiritual and emotional, I think, than anything else, and it just really helps you to take a deep breath and reground yourself and recenter yourself. And that is what we are trying with everything we do to help point you to Him. And so many of those things are so healing physically, and that's not a coincidence, correct?
No,
So,
no, it's not a coincidence at
not in
all.
the least. And so that is our ultimate goal. Obviously, we want you to feel better. So many women come to us and they are just burnt out and they do not feel good and they can't fulfill their like you just day-to-day tasks even, and they want to do what God's calling them to, like their heart's in the right place with that, but they
Sure.
just don't feel good. So of course we want to help them feel better physically, but ultimately we want to help them become closer to the Lord and follow His plan for their life. And so this is just one thing that we encourage them to do that has so many ramifications, short and long term. Another,
Physically
no, go
and
ahead.
spiritually.
Yes. And something that I typically pair with going, and getting light outside is movement. It's great to just, pair first morning light with a short walk, or even we were just talking about this in the blood sugar episode before this, is that taking a walk after a meal is really great to help balance your blood sugar. Well, you could balance your blood sugar, you could get some movement in, and you could get some natural light all in one. And,
Right.
I like to multitask when I can like that, right? When
Absolutely. Like, don't all
yeah.
women?
So, that is perfect to kind of, just combine three into one and get some really good benefits. Um, but yeah, circadian rhythm and really being in rhythm with the 24-hour cycle, it does so much for you physically, but again, just the spiritual components of that and just realizing like His mercies are new every day and we need to go spend time with Him and just to be in tune with that. There's so much that can be said for it, that's just going to be so individual to where you are. And really what it does, I feel, is just change your heart posture, which is far
Huge.
more than a behavior change, which is sometimes what it seems like, but there's so much more intentionality behind that when we ask clients to take time to go outside first thing in the morning. We're praying that, they meet Him there and that He changes their heart ultimately.
Yeah. I mean, there's just so many parallels between getting your light, following the natural circadian rhythm of the day, right?
Mhm.
Following God's natural call to being in the moment, right?
Yeah,
Um,
that's true. Being
you
in
know,
right now, right? No, we're not living in the future. That's what so many of us tend to do, which is anxiety and fear and all of that provoking
right,
when we just
right.
constantly live in the future. Yeah.
Right. And I just thought about something in Chinese medicine. They always said one of the things, obviously, for depression we know is really good is exercise and walking specifically. There are studies that showed that exercise was as good as Zoloft in some
Wow.
studies,
Yeah.
which is powerful. But it made me think of something in Chinese medicine. And they always said that when you get the physical body moving, the spirit gets moving too,
It's
right?
true.
And so going to take a walk gets that spirit, moving.
Yeah. And it can help you kind of work out frustrations or stress. You just,
Sure,
and I would
sure.
encourage you to leave your phone behind because we need a few
Amen.
minutes without our phone. you know,
Yeah.
I started going on longer walks to prepare for a hike, and I wasn't taking my phone, but then I was when I was going on longer walks. So I'm looking forward to going back on a little bit of a shorter walk and not taking my phone because it's just, it's just a distraction. It's just hard not to be a distraction. So I would encourage you to leave your phone behind and just really tune into what the Lord is trying to say to you that way you just miss because we're so distracted with, you know, all the things.
Yeah, yeah. So if you're listening, I know, if you want to know the science behind, sunlight, which is super important, you can go back to what episode,
It
Carrie?
was episodes 25 and 29 of season 2.
Okay, great. Listen to those. But more importantly, we really just wanted to point out the parallel between following the sun and following the ultimate light, which is him. So thanks for tuning in, everybody. We love you guys and we're praying for you.